live on Facebook for Eide Acura Ask a Tech. My name is TJ McVeigh. I'm Master Tech here at Vern Eide Acura. This is...
I'm Colin Fitzsimmons. I'm a Senior Sales Consultant here at Vern Eide Acura.
Today, you're welcome to ask any questions you want. Kind of a general topic that we're talking about is the interior for getting your interior ready for spring. So a couple things there. Of course, the salt and all that is kind of hard on the interior of your car from winter. Clean your mats. Obviously, pull them out. Give them, if you have all-season mats, pull them out. Give them a good scrub. If you have carpet mats, you can pressure wash them. Just let them dry. Make sure they're dry before you put them back in. Otherwise, they tend to stink. Anything you like to do?
Well, if you don't have the all-weather mats, then it's even more important to take your carpeted mats out and clean them because they will have salt in them and they will rot. So if you clean them up, make sure they're good and dry before you put them back in. That will lengthen the life you get out of them, certainly.
Yep. Maybe run a quick vacuum over once you pull them out, because you'll get a few stray rocks and stuff like that. Run the vacuum over the carpet.
Absolutely.
Seats. Maybe there's like an interior protection, if you have leather seats.
Yeah, there's a leather package that Acura offers that it's pretty cheap, and it's a really good idea to protect your seats. It will treat the leather in your seats and keep them smooth, comfortable, and take a lot of the grime off of it that you probably accumulated over the winter.
Yeah. Got a question here. Why does making sure I keep my interior clean help when I want to trade in for a newer vehicle?
Well, any vehicle, when it is being appraised, appearance has something to do with it. Now, I tell a lot of my customers, if it's not clean, don't go get it detailed. Don't spend a lot of money to get it detailed. But, if it's vacuumed out and there's not a lot of trash in it and that sort of thing, and you have taken care of it along the way, when the appraiser looks at it and climbs in it and drives it himself, as he will, they're going to have a higher opinion of your vehicle than they might otherwise.
Yeah. Another one, what happens if you get ink spots on your leather interior? That one, we do offer a full reconditioning center. So if you do get something like that, you can bring it in and we'll send it over to the recon and they can do some serious magic. I've seen some pretty wicked stains that they've got out. So it's the sooner the better. Don't let it, don't get an ink spot or something, a stain, and then 6 months down the road say, oh, I should get that fixed. The chances that it comes out very slim.
If you wait too long and you can't get it out, basically we do have a company that we deal with locally that essentially will re-dye the seat for you.
Yep.
But you don't want to have to go to that length if you can avoid it.
No.
When you are purchasing a car, or even along the way, if you decide you want to put a little more protection into it, there is an interior treatment that Vern Eide offers that not only is designed to protect your interior, but it also gives you a guarantee that if something stains it and can't be taken out, that it will be replaced.
Yeah, yep, that's... another question, what are some good maintenance items if I have allergies going into spring? Big one, cabin filter. Cabin filter essentially filters all the incoming air into the car. All the air has to go through that. And also when you have in recirc, all the air goes back through that filter in recirc. So that really is cleaning the air. Actually have a little prop today. Here is a dirty one. So this is generally what when we pull them out, this is what they will look like. Pretty nasty, as you can see. And here, actually, still in the bag, is a brand new one. So pure white, dirty, clean, dirty, clean, dirty, clean, dirty. Okay, enough of that. So that will also help with smells. It's amazing how much that will make your car stink. Another thing, going into the spring months when it's wet out, you know kind of feel, if you sense that musty smell in your car from being in the rain. Big thing is, if you can shut off your AC or, and let it kind of dry out. Run the fan a little longer when you park. Let it kind of dry the vents and everything from the humidity.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep. How easy is it to get smoke out of leather interior?
It's not really the leather that is the problem. The leather doesn't really hold the smoke all that much. It's the other interior materials, particularly the overhead in your car.
Yeah,
that's where it gets stuck, and you can clean that, and depending upon how heavily it's been smoked in, some of that can be cleaned up a bit. There are products that you can use to neutralize smoke, but the problem you'll find in a heavily smoked in car, the overhead is going to retain that. As soon as it gets hot in the summertime, that smoke smell is coming right back out. And really the only way to get rid of it absolutely is to replace the overhead.
Yeah, exactly. There are ways to clean it. Our recon center can do it. Ozone machine actually creates an ozone inside the car and tries to deplete that smell. But unfortunately, it's a hard thing to get rid of. If you've ever experienced that in a car,
smoke is the worst.
Yeah, it is.
Worse than any other odor to get out in the end. It's the hardest thing to truly get rid of.
Yep. Another interior tip for spring: clean all the inside of the windows. Pick a nice day and actually spend some time on the windows, because they just, with all the interior plastics and everything, they kind of outgas over time, and they create that haze on the inside of the windows.
Film that builds up.
Yep.
There.
And so spend a little time cleaning those. Get a really good quality glass cleaner that doesn't streak, and spend a little time on that. Another question: if I tear my cloth or leather seats, can it be fixed, or do I have to replace my seat? Depends on how bad. If it's a little tear and you can get it in, to us, we do, like Colin talked about earlier, we have a company that will actually come and repair cloth and leather seats. They do wonders. I mean, it's crazy what you just can't see it when it's done. But the sooner the better. Don't let it grow, especially in a cloth seat. I have seen them actually take the seat cover apart and replace the actual panel that's damaged, if they can find the material to match.
Well, and again, that protection package that I mentioned earlier has a guarantee that if there's a tear or a stain that can't be repaired or cleaned, they will replace it.
Yep.
So that type of protection covers your whole interior.
Yeah. And I've done a couple of seat covers on that system. So that plan. Keep asking questions. We're here for another probably 10 minutes or so. Anything else you can think of? Getting your car ready for spring, interior-wise?
Interior-wise, again, as long as you put something, do some leather treatment to keep the leather moist. That's a big thing. And make sure that you take care of the carpets and your mats to make sure the salt is out of them, because that's the worst thing for your carpeted mats is the salt. It will cause your carpets to rot.
Yep. Yeah. Another one we can kind of celebrate when we do it is removing all the winter scrapers and brushes and all that. That's enjoyable. So they're not flying around the car when you drive in. It's always good. At least put them in the trunk or in the garage or something, so that you can find them again next year.
Well, you might want to make room in the trunk for your golf clubs too. That's an important thing getting ready for spring.
Yeah, there you go. Keep asking your questions. Anything else you got?
That's not really. I think that about takes care of it. As far as the interior.
Maybe another thing too is wipe down the dash. You can get some. It's just like your house. Can get dusty. Get a layer built up on your dash. The back, if you got a sedan, the back, a window tray. Just wipe them down with a simple wet paper towel or a wet rag. Just water. It'd be the best. You don't have to use Armor All so that doesn't get shiny, stuff like that.
You really don't want to use Armor All actually, because it doesn't get absorbed and it'll leave a greasy film.
Yep.
And that stuff will attract dust. So where you think you cleaned your vehicle and it was helpful initially, a week from now, you're going to have a layer of dust stuck in all that stuff, and you're not going to be happy with it.
Yeah. Another question: does Acura offer seat covers for the rear of my car to prevent food or change down under my seats? We do actually on sedans. Does the RDX has it? Does the MDX?
All of the Acuras have a seat cover accessory that is available. I've used a couple of them in different cars. Don't know if I've ever used the one in the MDX, but they are available.
And they're super nice. They're
heavy duty. They're particularly good for people that if you have animals in your car and you don't want, say, your dog's nails to scratch the material, those covers can really protect your seats.
Yeah, and if you have children that act like animals, it also works.
Yeah, that too.
First case scenario. I'm in that boat. It works awesome for kids, especially put the car seats on top. You can pull them out and wash them. They just are a really good idea. Really protects. And actually, that kind of makes like a bowl. It kind of collects everything so that it doesn't get under the seats. It doesn't get smashed into the seats. Cereal and stuff like that.
Yeah, it collects the Cheerios from
the
car seats.
Exactly. Another question: do you recommend a certain brand of leather cleaner or dash cleaner? Colin kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. Acura does make leather cleaner interior protectant. You can see our service department for that and can pick up that kit. That's really good. It's really easy to use. Tells you all the directions on it. Pretty foolproof system.
Yeah. However, if you do already have something you've used for other vehicles in the past, any good leather cleaner or protectant will be perfectly fine.
Biggest thing with those is use it often. I'm bad about it. I don't do it often enough. Really, you should probably do it once a month would be awesome. Nobody really has time for that. Nobody really thinks about it that much. But
a couple of times a year is good. If you did it in the spring and you did it in the fall before the winter, you'd be pretty well protected. And who's got time for more than that?
I know, right? Well, I put it on the schedule, and then maybe I'll get show it twice a year. But wipers, wipers are a big thing for spring too. You get all the rain and, of course, the rainy season, and The wipers are hard, or the winter's hard on the wipers. Just the ice can tear them and it beats them up. So yeah, inserts, if you have an Acura product or Honda product, we can actually replace just the rubber part of the blade. If you have any other brands, then yep, we do have wiper blades to replace that.
That is a good idea, because bad wiper blades can, over time, wear lines or marks into your windshield.
Yep.
And you think they're just streaks, but when you go to try and clean them off, you find you've made some permanent marks. And they're not coming out.
No, that's... keep with your questions. We got about 5 more minutes. What else do we got for spring? I think, well, we could talk about the rear, the trunk, like trunk cargo trays. Cargo trays are good to have. Kind of protects the rear of vehicle, the storage area, the trunk, or the rear cargo area if you have an SUV.
Well, I do have a cargo tray in the back of my TLX, and again, I'm a golfer, if you get the idea. It does help to keep the grass from your golf shoes and things like that from getting ground into the carpet or the material. It's easy to pull out and, if necessary, hose off or just shake the grass and stuff off it occasionally. But it's really useful product to have in there. If you don't have something in there to protect it, then yeah, I definitely recommend you go in occasionally and vacuum it out, because things will work their way into the fibers. And once they do, you practically have to pick them each out by hand, which is time consuming and not fun at all.
No. Question, does Acura offer hitches for summertime pulling activities? Yes, they do on their SUVs, the RDX and MDX. The RDX has the smaller hitch, more bike holders, small stuff like that.
It can pull up to 1,500 pounds, but it does particularly offer an attachment. We do have a bike rack that fits into the hitch as an accessory that people find very useful, very easy to mount their bikes on and get them on and off and so on.
And then the MDX has the full-size hitch, can pull with a cooler up to 5,000 pounds, is that right?
5,000, or without the cooler, the standard hitch is 3,500.
So yeah, and that has, a full, you can get the bike rack attachment and then pull anything. Small boat, anything kind of you want to do there. So, well, I think that's it for today. I want to thank Colin for coming in.
Not a problem. Happy to do it.
I will not be here next week, but we will have Ask a Tech will still be here. Probably have Ethan Schulte, one of our other techs in the back, on, and send in your questions all week, and we will answer them next weekend or next Friday. So have a good week and weekend, and thanks for joining.
Enjoy your weekend.